Against the backdrop of the spectacular Rocky Mountains on the outskirts of Colorado Springs, home to some of our nation's best and brightest at the United States Air Force Academy. And when they're not learning to fly, they're getting ready for battles on the gridiron. Today, a pair of Pac-12 teams getting set to square off in a game that could have season-long implications. As we'll see, the James Madison Dukes taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Air Force Falcons. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Falcons will get us underway with the opening kickoff. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. The offense set for a first down play. Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
The offense making a statement early in this game. They're going to open the entire playbook, and they're going to show this defense so many different looks and try to keep them on their heels. I love that play call. You could see the defense wasn't sure what was going on.
Back to throw, it's Evans. Receiver looks it in, it's complete. Makes a catch and knocked down.
I think quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on second down. Leaves it with the running back. A strong tackle and wrap-up from the junior.
The big defensive tackles in the middle, they're not always the best pass rushers, but they are strong, and I say country strong. They put their hands on you, you feel it. They lock people out on the line of scrimmage. They create separation. They wrap running backs up, and you...
Oh, picked off. Didn't let him get loose on the return, but he'll take it as they have the ball at the 47.
Well, statistically, this defense is not one of the better units against the pass. They're trying to change that here today. What a great job tracking the ball down, making a play on it, stabbing it out of the air for a big interception early. That should be massive for their confidence.
Looking for a productive play on first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Quickly out to the tight end. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tackle.
Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
And I know it wasn't successful there, but you can go back to last week. Like, they're going to throw this man the football. They find creative ways to get in the ball. Really good coaches get their playmakers the ball in space, and that's what I like about this offense. I bet they come back to him and find a way to throw him the football some more.
Motion from the offense. Back to throw, it's Hayes. Dances away from the heat. He'll pull it down and run. Nice job there to limit the running room, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain. And the Falcons will hustle to the line. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. On fourth down, trying to find his man. He's got him, and they convert. Finds a crease at the 20. Not much of a fourth down gamble when it's that much of a sure thing. An easy conversion for this offense.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. Second and goal coming up. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. He'll ride his man on the option. He'll toss it. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Air Force. Follows the blocker. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And he tacks on the extra point. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays. And I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this route.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Not a lot of daylight. He gets one to the 32.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing at this point.
Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. They'll try to get the first through the air. And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack from this defense.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
They were hoping for a little more, but it could have been worse as the punt goes out of bounds, and they'll put it in play around the 45-yard line. Here comes the Air Force offense back onto the field. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heel.
Oh, look out, there he goes. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
How nice is it as a quarterback when you don't have to throw post routes to get great stats? No, I can just throw it quickly to one of the fastest players in the entire nation and let him burn this defense.
It's complete on the right side. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. Now on 2nd and goal. The run up the middle, trying to power to the goal line. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now it's 3rd and goal. Scanning the field, it's Hayes. He caught it, and he will score! Touchdown, Falcons!
I think the days of running backs just running downhill are out the window. You better be able to do this. You see the playmakers, slip him out of the backfield, throw him the football, he'll handle the rest, get in the end zone for the touchdown.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it up with a 3-yard scoring toss. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Touch pass on the jet sweep. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Madison, 0.
Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. He's looking to throw, trying to get to it. And the pressure gets there, and down he goes at the 18.
That is how you start a drive. Meet the physical challenge on first down. Rush the quarterback, get the sack on second down, and now put him in a 3rd and long situation. Nice job by this defense.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Got it in the middle, it's nice. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. And the Dukes will punt it away on 4th down. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. On the move, it's Peace. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. Air Force has it back, and the Falcon offense returns to the field. They wanted to set the tone, strike quickly. Jesse, they've done exactly that, up 2 touchdowns.
And this quarterback has been dialed in, too. He's been so good reading.
And he's got it inside the 25. And he's brought down after a huge completion.
I love when you back the defense off of you. If you want to get aggressive, I'll take shots down the field, make the defense play more conservative, and now what? Now you're in the red zone with a chance to get some points.
They keep count of their number of explosive plays, and that last one has them set up 1st and 10 at the 19. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
I like how creative this offense is being. They're trying to get this receiver out into space using the jet sweep here down in the red zone. Good call.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. And not even a chance to pitch it as he is slammed down in the backfield.
Loss of 4. 3rd down coming up.
Big play to start the drive, a little tougher sense. Now a crucial 3rd down on this drive. Looking to throw, it's Hayes. Dances away. Got out of trouble and throws. He makes the connection. He's really close to that 1st down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Makes the grab well past the sticks. They make the tackle just outside the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal from the 1.
And they must have had a play in practice that they just felt was unstoppable because they essentially just took away an automatic chip shot field goal to go for that 4th down. But because of the execution, it was just too good. They're looking now to score.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Air Force. No mid-season concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead.
1st and goal. You know what's coming. They know what's coming. Can you stop it? And you can't. Pound the football straight ahead. Get in for 6. Nice job by the big fella.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. They've got nothing done so far, and they already find themselves in a 3-possession hole, Jesse.
Yeah, and as a head coach, you're wondering, what didn't I say? What didn't I do to get my team ready to go? Because we look like we're sleepwalking at this point.
Nothing went well in the 1st quarter. You just say refresh. Like, let's try to find a way now. Ship into this lead. Try to make it somewhat manageable when you get to the half.
Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming.
Great job by the defense dialing out some pressure on 3rd down. They hit the quarterback and forced the incompletion.
The Dukes send out the punt unit. And he doesn't field it cleanly. It's loose. And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground.
All right, let's go return, guys. You've got to do a better job with ball security. You know these coverage unit teams, they got 50-yard runs at you. They're coming in with a big head of steam. You're not making a miss. You've got to have 2 hands on the ball.
Quarterback checking off. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Moves around to clear up the vision. It'll be incomplete. Tried to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open.
I think when you go through these progressions as a quarterback, you want to find the right guy to throw to, obviously. I didn't think he was the right guy. I didn't think he was really that open. And listen, he sailed.
He'll take a deep shot here. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down.
And sometimes you see great shooters and they get on fire and they just can't miss. And that's what this QB looks like the last couple of weeks, man. Just completion percentage through the roof, running the offense at an elite level. You can tell in complete control of this offense.
As we reach the 2-minute warning, they'll need to try to get a stop to keep this thing from getting out of hand. The Falcons line up to punt it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Gets it out of there for the first time today, and didn't see much of him that loss a week ago. Called on just once. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, a big chance. Like this is an opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity in front of them in the game right now. You got to get some points on the board. You got to create something positive, Jesse. There hasn't been a whole lot to be positive about in the first half.
If I'm playing quarterback, I'm locating my go-to guy at receiver. Who can I count on one-on-one to go and make me a play? Maybe even one-on-two. Who can go up, catch the ball, get us some yards, and get us some points?
Well, they've done nothing on offense so far, but if they can put some points on the board before halftime, it could really change things.
No doubt. Go into the locker room with some good juices, some good vibes, and momentum can switch a game in a heartbeat. But this offense hasn't had much to cheer about yet. That play gives them one play. Now let's go build on it and make something happen before the half.
There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. And the Dukes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw, it's Evans. Finds his big tight end. And that was some kind of collision between a couple of big bodies there, and he stopped from getting the first down.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw.
Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Wide receiver coming across in motion. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. The Dukes will line up to punt it away. Cover guys do their job, and they get him stopped at the 22-yard line. Just enough time for one final play of the half. And And he's able to get some positive yardage before he's brought down, and that'll bring us to halftime. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. And the Dukes will line up to kick off and start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the returner will be knocked down. Here comes the Air Force offense back onto the field. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, you see the defense make a big play there in the RPO, and they're doing it because they're starting to load the box. If you're the play caller offensively, you might want to think about having your quarterback keep the ball and then try to throw it downfield.
Off the play fake. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense felt coming into the game that if he was going to try to throw from the pocket, they could get to him and affect his accuracy, and they did on that last play.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. He'll get rid of it. And they can't complete the bullet pass on 3rd down.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
Makes a move. And there he goes. He will score. Touchdown Dukes.
And every year there's exciting new freshmen to look at and talk about and pump up. And this guy got a lot of that pump, and you see why. The dynamic play on special teams. You can see the speed. You can see the wheels. And you know the reason the fans were jacked up when they signed this guy this year.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And after the extra point, they're now down 21-7. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. Kansas State looks like a bunch of world beaters right now. I'm not sure I've ever seen this offense look this crisp. They're up by 18 over UMass. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. On the run from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Air Force has it back, and the Falcon offense returns to the field. They'll have another opportunity to extend this lead after punting last time, David.
And it's important to put that punt behind you. It's over. Let it go. Get back to what you were doing that built this lead, Palmer.
Yeah, and defense, obviously, they won a few downs that last drive, so we got to put them on their heels here. Maybe mix up a few personnel groupings and try to show them some pictures they haven't seen yet.
Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. He's taking the shot. And the pass hits, picked off. Takes it the other way. And they capitalized not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
Man, this is how we do it. Defensively, you go into halftime, you make adjustments. You talk about, we've seen them do this, we've seen them do that. Let's get ready for it. Let's have a plan. Plan executed. You could tell they knew what was coming, did a great job defensively, forced an interception right out the gates to start the second half.
Really nice stop there from this senior leader. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Wide receiver shows motion. Dropping back, it's Evans. He's got his man. And he's brought to the ground, but not before he gets enough for the 1st down.
QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
And a flag comes in as this one falls incomplete. Let's see what the call is. Here comes the offense on second down. He's looking to throw. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Hit the afterburners, kid. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening first and goal from the 9.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get...
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
Quarterback just has to be more aware of the situation. First down, goal-to-go situation. You cannot take a sack. So the QB, if no one's open, you got to make sure you're throwing that ball out of the end zone and helping your offense out.
Finds his man, it's Hudson. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
On third and goal, they'll throw it. Touchdown, James Madison. A Lazarus-like comeback is underway. Got to start cutting into this lead somewhere. Now the question, will they have enough time?
But that's step one. You got to get that first score. You got to get back in the ball game and get some of that momentum back on your side. You still got more work to do, but step one accomplished.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Looking for those open spaces and opportunity. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He is electric in the return game, and that one has the offense set up nicely. Line gets set, first down. Oh, gives him the tough stiff arm.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
This offense has a second down play. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. He got a bunch and looked close to getting a lot more, but he's got the first down.
That has got to be demoralizing if you're on defense, because they just ran the ball right up the middle, down your throats, and they gashed you.
Looking to go up top on first down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
Wonder if they'll throw it again after the incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. Couldn't find anyone open here, and he'll live to fight another play. It'll be third down.
And that goes down as incompletion, but that's a smart play. And the QB coach and the OC will be very happy with the decision of the quarterback. He got outside the pocket. He obviously was he's outside the tackle boxes. He knew he could throw it away as long as he got it past the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, nothing open. Live to fight another down.
On third down, going up top. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And he grabs it at the 15. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one. Looking downfield, it's Hayes. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Falcons.
How about the offense? They spread them out. Everybody spread wide. Easier to read a defense when you do that. They find the matchup they want, and they get rewarded with the score.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point is good for a 28-14 lead. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finish it with an 11-yard touchdown dart. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. First down here for the offense. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Wants to throw on first down. Pressure coming. Pass on the way. It's picked off. Trying to take it back. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. That's why you love veterans in this defense. They stay locked in on their rules, and he made the pick. This should be the last play of the quarter. They'll throw it on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Roberson. There to make the stop, and we played 3 in this one.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. With the score, Air Force 28, James Madison 14.
They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. They'll keep it on the ground for first and goal. Not much room. He gets 1 down to the 7.
Gain of 1. It's now second and goal.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. On the option. Now the pitch. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
It's looking like they're going to have to throw this one in now on third down, David. And you know the execution just has to be spot on. Timing especially at the quarterback position here.
And thinking about the defense, they're aggressive in these situations. They're going to play man. They're going to play uptight on you. So I know that. Now how do I counterpunch and attack this defense?
Pulled down for the tackle.
Nice job by the fullback on that play. Was in pass protection first. He saw he could release out of the backfield, become a viable target for the quarterback, and gains a couple yards.
Splits the uprights. Good. And now the lead's extended a little further. That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. James Madison sends the offense back onto the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to...
Time to take a shot. Pulls it in on the left. And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45. First and 10. Looking to move it through the air. Moving out of the pocket. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This offensive line is not going to like watching the film back tomorrow when they get the opportunity, because they have gotten beat time and time again up front, especially in passing situations. All of the hits, all of the sacks that this quarterback has taken is the biggest reason why they're going to lose it.
Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind. Stripe at the 48. Offense will have to use its first time out of the half. Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
Look, I know this guy's tiny, but on these slant throws as a DB, you've got to get your hands on him because he's just too quick. He's going to cross your face too easy otherwise, and he did right there.
On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Steps away to find some room. Plows through the defense. He is brought down, but man, what a job to find some running room and move the chains.
It's going to be tough on this defense containing this guy because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's throwing it and hurting you, or you can take off and run. That time able to get the first down. Big challenge for the defense moving forward.
And he's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been up to speed. His third interception. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the fourth quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. Able to pick up a couple before he's dragged down at the 19.
Great job by the defense, forcing the fumble, but a bad, unfortunate bounce, and the offense pounces back on it.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. They want that clock to run. Didn't find a lot of room. Let's give him 2 out to the 20.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, it's Hayes. He looks that one in nicely. At the 35, he's loose. And he breaks into the open. Running inside the 20. Touchdown, Air Force. And the beatdown has ensued. Boy, do they need that score. Gave them a little cushion as they try to put a stop to this 2-game slide. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Kentucky delivered a statement victory that's going to be celebrated in Bluegrass country for some time. And if this team's not careful, they could have themselves a football program there in Lexington. A lot to go through in the film session this week for both teams. But, boy, it sure is going to be easier for the side that came away with the win.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there.
Well, that last play is basically a microcosm of what today has been like for this offense. Just nothing happening. Not physical enough at the point of attack. They're being swarmed. They haven't had the balance necessary to win this game, and that's why they find themselves trailing late.
Looking to throw on second down. Unloads to the right. And it's his 4th interception of the game. He'll try to take it back. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
The #1 objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're
Touchdown, Falcons! And the punishment has been extended. They push that lead out, a really good opportunity to get back in the win column.
There's no mercy rule in college football game. They've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
And they did tack on the extra point. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Out of the end zone. He's got great speed. He's on the loose. Just an outstanding return there and really sets up his offense nicely. Guys, James Madison ready to go back on the attack. This has been a really disappointing performance, David. No question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take.
Lets it fly deep downfield. Throw to the end zone. It's picked off. Bringing it back. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. Fourth quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
And more yards after contact. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
That is just demoralizing if you're on defense, right? You're down in the game. It's the fourth quarter. You know you need to get a stop, and you know they're going to run the ball, but you can't do anything about it.
Just complete and utter dominance in this one. Outplayed their opponent and took care of business.
Yeah, total domination in all three phases of the game. Offense, defense, and special teams. This team came ready to play, and man, it was pedal to the metal right from the opening kickoff.
And that's how you like it. Forget the close games, forget the heartbreakers, this play could decide it. Just frying pan, meat face, ball game over.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.